What's up, team? We're rocking here. We're getting things going. We're going to lower this. Still in on our little getaway here in Missouri. Been watching the market here, looking at a property tomorrow. That ought to be fun. We are live right now on Facebook, multiple pages. We are live on Twitter. We are live on LinkedIn right now. We are live on YouTube right now. LinkedIn is a new one. We're live on LinkedIn right now. StreamYard, what can you say? All right, so today we're going to talk about a few things. This is an article that someone sent me who was like, here, see, this crash is worse than the last one. And there's a lot of this stuff. There's a lot of these articles. There's a lot of these videos. Send me everything. I want all of it. I want to see, because I want to find, is there anything in there of any substance at all whatsoever? And I haven't found anything yet. So I'll be debunking the funk out of this one. We'll also be talking about probably the most obvious thing right now, which is difficult to do. It's difficult to make the smart financial decision because it's always counterintuitive. We'll talk about that. Pending home sales slip. Realtors say maybe at or close to the bottom. Let's start off with mortgage rates. Okay, can we rip the Band-Aid off first? Is everybody cool with that? Is it good? We good if we rip the Band-Aid off? So we broke out of our rising channel here, which was so technically beautiful. And now we are essentially in a downward channel that is not as beautiful. It still looks something like this probably. Don't have great tools for this on MBS Highway, but they have the great info here. So it looks like we're probably going to see another bad day tomorrow for interest rates. Okay, we're down 30 basis points today. It's been rough, right? And for those of you who are new, bond prices go up like this, rates go down, prices go down like this, mortgage rates go up, mortgage rates go down, mortgage rates go up. That's what we're facing. Probably going to get another candle down here. This is clearly what appears to be where we are going to find some support because we haven't found any for a while here. Since we've broken that channel, little teeny tiny bit of support, and then that has become resistance. So not a great position for mortgage rates. And it's very likely, as I just said, rates will get a little bit worse before they get better. Hopefully, we can turn this thing around. It would seem to me that it would make sense, but you'll notice throughout this whole downturn here, the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 straight days of red candles here, we've had days where the stock market's been down. We've had days that were really ideal for the bond market to do well, and it hasn't. It has me a little concerned. We should see a stronger demand here for bonds if we really are seeing inflation come in, which we are seeing in certain things like gas prices, for example, and other items, but starting to see that come in, but we're not seeing the demand for bonds that I expected us to see. So that's something that we're going to keep a very close eye on. I stare at this chart all day, every day. Okay, let's just go right to this one. I'm going to make this Exhibit A, 1A, okay? Housing market collapse steepens. Look at this. Now, one of the things I tell you about these articles you have to watch out for is it obviously biased right out the gates? Housing market collapse steepens. You tell me, is there a housing market collapse underway? Well, if you already believe that there is one, or that's what you're expecting, then you would see this as confirmation. Note here after the colon, new home sales keep plunging. Now, most people may not understand what that even means, but when the media talks about new home sales, they're talking about new construction. So new home sales keep plunging as inventory surges to highest level since 2009. If you didn't catch those two words, new home, or knew what that meant, you would think that the entire housing market has sales plunging and inventory surging to the highest levels since just after the crash began in the 2008 crash. So it's It's the same thing I've been warning you about. This is pretty bad. One yesterday was pretty bad. This one is probably worse. Hard to believe after what we went through yesterday, but this one is probably, that was really just an advertorial yesterday. And it's hard to be mad at him for that. It was a good one. Probably got a lot of clicks, probably worked out. This one is bad. Now, what you do is you have to go in here and go, okay, so top line, hey, new home sales unexpectedly plunged more than economists projected in July for the second month in a row. Amid the falling demand, rising prices are starting to slow down. Prompting experts to predict long rising housing inflation could be due for a turnaround. And then it goes on to give you some facts here. 511,000 new single-family houses were sold last month. Seasonally adjusted annual basis, this is plunging 12.6% from June, 585,000, and below analyst expectations, 574,000. Now remember, all of this is new home sales. Why should we care about the new home sales market? I'm going to tell you, we probably shouldn't. It is in its own bubble. New homes, new construction homes are in their own bubble. And they do the same things to themselves every time. They make terrible decisions about how they run their business. When the market gets hot, they middle finger all the realtors, which is the sales organ of real estate. So stupid. And then they get what they deserve. And that's what they're getting right now. I'm sorry. I know people who are builders. I'm sorry. If you did this wrong, it's on you. There's no one else to blame. And a lot of these places, so think about this. The new home sales inventory, mind you, by the way, when we talk about housing crashes, it's very difficult to have a housing crash amidst a housing crisis. It's a housing crisis that caused the run-up in prices. Not loose lending, some other thing that was in control of the market, but actual housing crisis. Not enough homes for the number of people. We've chronicled this in great detail. We have a housing crisis. That's why it's very difficult to have a housing crash. We can have a housing correction. We can see prices come in a little bit. A crash is not happening. Add in forbearance, crash not happening. But what you're seeing here is the new home builders are feeling some pain. They are. And I'm going to get to the good news here in a second. New home builders are feeling pain. By the way, we're live on like everything. So say what's up, drop a comment, a question. If you're on LinkedIn, please comment. If you're on LinkedIn right now, I would love to see someone who's watching us on LinkedIn live. So what's bad about this, the reason why this doesn't matter as much, because if you're a home builder, your own world, you essentially build your own bubble. Your development is its own bubble. And so if you are building homes that are really expensive, which almost all new homes are, and they're not necessarily ideal lots or what people are looking for, but they're really nice houses. They're brand new. People are paying huge to buy these homes, huge premiums. I mean, it's wild, especially in San Diego. Tax rate, Mello-Roos, HOA fees. It's bananas. Now we're talking about national numbers here. I'll tell you, I've been looking at new construction here in Missouri as well. And it's all really like top end priced, but then you're on a tiny lot. They're on 8,000 square foot lots. I mean, who's doing that? Why would you do that here? People want a quarter acre at least, half an acre. You get people an 8,000 foot lot with a $450,000 home? That doesn't make any sense. So the builders got greedy. They saw a frenzy. They had projects in the works. They had time off for COVID, and they went gangbusters, and it worked out really, really well for a long time. And now buyers don't want the most expensive product on the shelf. That's not what they're after. They're looking for value. They're looking for something that isn't the most expensive thing they could possibly buy. So of course, new home builders are going to struggle. Now, I can tell you, who cares? Because new home builders struggling doesn't really do too much damage to a market because they're not comps. If you sell a resale home and it's half a mile away from a new home development, and you have a 4-bed, 3-bath, and there's a 4-bed, 3-bath brand new, they're not going to use it as a comp. The appraiser won't use it because it's different. You have a new construction home, you have a resale home. They're considered to be two different things. So the builders' homes and their different phases of development are the comps for the builders' homes. it's in its own ecosystem. Now, people can get hurt by this because if you buy, let's say, an early stage of a development or mid stage of a development, and then the builder has to start discounting prices in order to sell homes, then you may get caught holding the bag. And that's one of the risks of buying in the early phases of a development. Typically, when you buy in the early phases, it works out well because the builders like to increase prices along the way. That's not really happening anymore. So you could get caught holding the bag. So I always be very careful about new construction. I am not a fan. I don't like the way the builders go about things. I don't like the way that they treat people. I don't like the way that the salespeople don't give everyone the facts up front and they work it like an old school used car deal. I would much rather see it be more professional, like the traditional real estate market, the way that's run. But they've gotten realtors out of it. They have their own in-house lenders. They want you totally under their thumb the entire time. They have their own contract. They don't even use the car forms. They have their own contract. That's how bad they want to beat you up. So I have no sympathy whatsoever for the home builders. None. Even the ones that are my buddies. I'm sorry. I am. But I have no sympathy for you. You made your own bed. Now you have to line it. Now it's a very difficult business to be in. It is. It's a very difficult business to be in because you have multi-year projects here. But you've made all the wrong decisions. I haven't seen a single builder do it the right way. And so I'm saying it's your own bed that you're lying in. Now, if new home builders started discounting their prices so much that it started to be comparable, like, oh, well, that's getting close to be about what the same price would be for a comparable home that's a resale home, but now we get one that's brand new, then you would probably see demand start shifting in that direction. So they'll be able to find buyers, but they are going to have to discount these properties. They are. But it is not something that we should say, hey, this is the market. This is not the market. Each one of these developments is its own bubble. Okay, and we can collectively say, oh, let's pull all those bubbles together and add up the data, and that's what we're looking at here, and that's fine. But there is no way for us to say at any point in time that new home sales are what tell us which direction the market is headed. It is premium only inventory. It is expensive only inventory, and especially right now, because a lot of these homes were built with materials that they paid COVID prices for, or they paid inflation prices for, and now they're kind of stuck. All right, here's the good news. Despite the plunging demand, prices actually recovered. The median sales price of these new construction homes climbed to about $440,000 last month from $402,000 the month before. That's a 10% increase. So we saw demand drop off a lot in June. Rates are kind of peaking there, and a lot of that has come back. Now, this article does have some good quotes. I forget the gentleman's name here. Okay, Pantheon Macro Chief Economist Ian Steffordson. He has some good stuff in here. I'm not going to throw it. You can look through it if you want to, but there's some good stuff. He's making some good points in here. Let's see. They did actually highlight one critical quote. We'll do this one. At the start of 2021, a lack of existing homes pushed buyers into new construction home market, and sent prices soaring. But now existing home supply is skyrocketing too. Homeowners scramble to sell before prices fall too far. I don't really see the homeowner scramble going on, but we did see some people come on the market and then come off when they didn't get the price they wanted. He says, we expect sharp month-to-month declines in new home prices for the foreseeable future. So if you are, and I will tell you this from personal experience too, I've gotten calls from these new home builders saying, like, do you have buyers? And that hasn't happened, I don't know, ever. I work with a lot of people who buy new homes. I like to represent people who are buying new homes so they have at least someone representing them, since their realtor gets booted in almost every instance. They have no representation. They're completely at the mercy of this messed up contract that these builders make you sign. You have no one there advocating on your behalf. So I like to work with people who are buying new homes. We can almost always beat the deal, the in-house lender anyway. But I get calls back from these people because they like working with me. They're like, hey, we've got, an opening, this one just opened up. If you have somebody who wants in, and they're going to start rolling incentives out, and they're going to start dropping prices, and that's fine. If you are in the market for a new home, here's a couple pieces of advice. Tell them that you're interested. Say, hey, we're going to be buying soon. We're interested, and just sort of zip it and see what happens. See what they offer you. Tell them it's okay to follow up with you. Just say, hey, I'm cool if you want to call me, you want to text me updates, you want to let me know what's going on. Tell them that. Tell the sales office that. Let them come to you. And then go and look at the homes and see if you find something you like. And then maybe tell them, you know what, when this is not 600 anymore, when this is more like 550, let me know. You can play that game with them right now. And we don't know how long that might last, but you can play that game with them right now. So, do it. You can definitely negotiate with the builder. They don't like you to know that, but you definitely can. Everything's negotiable. However, in some of these cases, it's going to take 3, 4, 5, 6 months, okay, before the project's done. And they like to have those things sold before they're putting the finishing touches on. They want to have them in contract and sold. So what you can do is shop around, put interest lists in, let people know you're interested, tell them the price range, tell them everything, get pre-approved, get ready for a long-term lock. Okay, this is one of the things I love about being a broker, one of the many things. But lock the deal with one bank for 90 days, 120 days, 180 days, however many we need, to make sure that we have a hedge in on the market in case things get worse. Then as we approach and we're able to do shorter term locks, we'll see if rates have improved, or even if rates have stayed the same, you'll get a better deal. They'll simply flip the loan from one bank to the other, lock you in at the new bank, and you will get the new rate. Okay. So that is how you play this game right now with the new builders. And just pay attention to this, folks. When people send you, or when you see this stuff, when you see this stuff, these kinds of headlines, send it to me. Send it to me. I will break it down for you what is really going on, because they're going to continue both. Yeah. And government, say it. They love crisis because it's what gives them the most power for politics and the most profit for the news. So expect this, but always dig into the details. All right. We've got some WhatsApps over here. What's going on, team? We are live on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitch. We're live on Twitter. YouTube comment. No days off, Derrick. What's up, Manus? Not, it's not that I ever take days off. This is a 7-day-a-week business. And so, yeah, if I can make a video, I will. My opinion, 1929. What a funny username. What is that? Is that a YouTube comment too? That's a YouTube comment as well. It's all happening again. Yeah, we go through market cycles, don't we? There is definitely not a 1929 situation happening again. Those stocks definitely come in a lot further than they have so far. I do expect cheap monetary policy to keep that from getting too bad. Here's my buddy. What's up, Ryan Street? Hyperbole is tiresome. My listings are still moving 21 days or less. Sellers and less than talented agents need to realize the market is down 10 to 20% to 14% from the peak. I think it's even less than that. Citywide in San Diego, certain areas may be a little bit different, but yeah, it's not. It's hyperbole. It's a great way to put it. It's exactly what it is. There's a technical definition. Thank you, brother. Of what this is. It's just it's exaggerations to get clicks. That's what it is. And there's people who have a negative sentiment who are very concerned about what's going on. And I'm concerned too. I'm definitely concerned. People are like, oh, you're just so bullish, this and that. No, I'm not. I'm just realistic. Realistic right now means neutral. Realistic should be, if you're realistic about what's going on, you should be pretty neutral on the market. Things have gotten a lot better for buyers, which is who I represent. So I'm excited about that. Yes, I am. I'm very excited about the fact that buyers are able to get closing costs. Buyers are able to come right in offers. Although we had one again today, multiple offers, didn't get it. So I'm on the ground fighting the fight with these buyers. Yes, I'm seeing buyers win more. Are they absolutely raking the coals over? No. But are they getting closing costs? Are they getting talked to if they write an offer under list? Yeah. Are sellers considering FHA offers? Yeah, we got one accepted last week. This is great. If you're a buyer, that's great. That's what you hope for when you go to buy a house. You hope they'll listen to you. You hope they'll counter you, even if your offer isn't full list. You hope they'll talk to you if you have, question about the market, or if you make an offer below list and you ask for closing costs, you'll get a response right now. That's good for buyers. Could cracks in the housing market be good for buyers? Yes, of course. Look, if you want it to be a buyer's market, which everyone said, oh, when the next buyer's market comes, that's when I'll be in there. In order for it to be a buyer's market, that means that lots of buyers there needs to be less buyers, less people involved in wanting to buy. So if we have a situation now where we have less buyers and buyers are starting to get negotiating power and starting to get requests for repairs granted, just yes, everything, no kickback. Not every time, of course, but we're seeing that now. Before they were like, oh, it's basically an as is sale. If you don't want it, if you want to write a request for repairs, we'll take the next buyer. Sellers don't want to go back on the market right now. That's good for buyers. It is. So these cracks that we're seeing in the housing market are good. It's good news for buyers. Let's not forget that. That doesn't mean that you should just run out and blindly buy a house, but that means that you should hawk the market, look for opportunities. Right now is the time. I'm looking for opportunities myself. I can tell you right now that I am going to be 100% pulling the trigger on who knows what exactly, but I am circling. I am like a shark. I am like a shark swimming in, I don't know how to have a good analogy. I'm just like a shark swimming in a fish tank. How about that? I love it. Love it. Opportunities everywhere, especially here. Missouri. It's crazy. But we're looking at one tomorrow. We'll probably look at a couple more. We're still here. You know, it's one of those things where if you are a buyer, you should like what you see here. The fact that most buyers don't just shows you that they're kind of those are the buyers who are just going to kind of go with the masses, right? And that's most people. I think 86% of people are like that, something like that. 6 out of 7 will just go with the masses. Then that 1 out of 7 free thinker type is going to go, wait a minute, let me do my own analysis. Are these people right? Are these people over here who are doing this and saying that, are they actually right? I think everyone should do that. Pending home sales slip 1% in July, but realtors say market may be at or close to the bottom. I would agree. I would concur with that. And then, by the way, this is a landmark opportunity. Can we talk about this real quick? This right here very well may be the first time in a long time where we've seen a headline on this website, particularly with Diana Olick as the author, that is somewhat positive for real estate. How about that? How about that? Realtors say market may be at or close to the bottom. You can check this out. You know, the pending home sales coming down a little bit. We've definitely seen that. Number of solds is down, volume's down, number of buyers looking is down. Inventory is starting to slide back down a little bit as well. It's a slower time. Again, that benefits buyers, not sellers. Remember, in a transaction, when a home is sold and purchased, it is the seller who is at the disadvantage from a negotiating standpoint, unless the market is roaring, right? Because the seller has to go first. They have to come to the table first and say, hey, we want to sell. Put a sign in the yard, wait for people to come. What happens when people don't come? Then what? That's what a lot of people are facing right now. And that means you have to basically, some sellers, very few. By the way, I'm getting notifications on all the homes I favorited on Redfin, which is a great way to keep track of the market. A lot of these are going in escrow right at or right around list price. A couple that I saw today, both were like right at list price, plus or minus $1,000, just right there. A lot of these are going in to escrow right at that level. So, when you see a situation where the market is slowing, it's the seller who is saying, I want to move. I want to sell. They have to go first. So as a buyer, you can simply go and be like, no, move along. So right now, buyers have advantage. Take advantage of this. Let's see what we got here. I saw a couple coming in. There's my man. We live. That is a YouTube comment. Yes. What's up, Tiffany? Have a client contract with KB. Thankfully, the sales rep was cooperative and her manager very professional. Not so much the case a few months ago. Yeah. Yep. They've wised up to it. They've wised up to it because they realize that they have essentially ostracized the sales organ of real estate, which is realtors, and that they need to get back on the right side of the river with that. So I'm expecting more of the same to continue for that. I'm expecting them to actually start advertising, calling agents, saying, hey, we have a 3% buyer commission. Please bring your buyers to our community. Register this way. This is how you get paid. Those calls are coming. If they haven't already been made, those calls are definitely coming. Let me see. Was there something here I wanted to say? I can't remember. This figure has fallen for 8 of the past 9 months. Rising mortgage rates made housing less affordable. Yeah. Rising rates is definitely the culprit so far, but you can't really find anything else besides that that's really doing too much to the market. We haven't had like massive unemployment. We haven't had, really a stock market crash. We've had some drawdown. We got down maybe 20% or so, and then we bounced off of that. We haven't had any of those circumstances that really add fuel to the fire of any type of crash or big economic downturn. We just haven't had that. So unless there's new things that come into this situation, I'm going to say this is a good time to either potentially purchase something or get yourself in position to purchase something in the near future. Inventory declines towards the end of the year, though. So remember that's good for sellers. That's good for the San Diego market. Inventory declines toward the end of the year. And in most markets, it's true because people will take their home off the market once they realize, okay, we're not going to be sold before the holidays, so we'll stay here for one more holiday season, and then we'll get back on the market in January. So homes will come off the market towards the end of fourth quarter. This can make January a very good month, and it usually is in San Diego for real estate because those homes will come back on the market and those sellers will be serious and ready to go. And so we'll see how this plays out, but I like what I see so far. I don't think I got a LinkedIn comment. Do we have any LinkedIn viewers right now? It's their first day being live on LinkedIn. Tiffany, who is a realtor also, by the way, here in San Diego, agree with the cracks or opportunities. 100%. 100%. Exactly what it is. All right. So here's what we're going to do. You guys know what I'm all about. I want people to win. I want you to win. It's not the easiest thing to do. There's so much information out there. There's so many banks, so many lenders. How do you know? How do you know who's going to hook you up? Listen, we don't charge any lender fees. There's no BS here. I view full transparency. I'll show you the rate sheets, everything. Over 70 banks. Let's find out who's got the best rate for you, okay? And if you already have a quote, you already have a pre-approval, great. I don't need to pull your credit. I just need a few pieces of information. I can tell you if that quote that you got or that deal that you have lined up is worthwhile, is a good deal, or if you need new representation. I'll let you know all that stuff for free. You guys have a great day. Oh, you rock, J.A.